sorry. I always have issues with my phone every time I go live. My phone's very old and I completely smashed it. So it does need to be replaced. So I apologize for that now. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go through all of the herbal remedies that I make and what they're used for and how to make them. We're going to start off with like cold and flu remedies and move all the way over to like things and cosmetics that you can make that's super easy and um that we can make at home. So we'll start off with something that is very near and dear to me. Hello, I hope you can hear me and everything. I came on and then it wouldn't stop playing an advert in the background, which was really loud for me anyway. I don't know if you could hear it. And then the second time it had no camera, so third time's lucky. So this is fire cider. Fire cider is amazing stuff. I've been making this for years now. It is something that my family absolutely hate because it tastes really bad, but it works. My daughter, we were talking to someone the other day, and my daughter said to them, "You need to try fire cider. It really works. It's disgusting though." It is perfect. All different wonderful herbs that are really potent. Hello, everyone that's coming in. It's lovely to see you guys again. It's like lemon and it's got rosemary and thyme and onions and peppers and like horseradish in it, and it's all freshly made. I make this every year and it's amazing. Anytime, when you're like feeling like you're getting a cold and you've either got like a little bunged up nose or you've got like some sort of ailment. Oh, it also has apple cider in it. That's what preserves it. I use this. I start it in the summer and I let it brew all year and I use it the next year. It's amazing. It really does fight a cold so well, to the point where we don't really get sick. And if I get sick, I put 3 tablespoons of this with some honey into like a cup and I drink it like tea. And I'm telling you, you just don't get sick with this. It is amazing stuff. It looks grim, but it's really nice. This has been since August, and then I have one that's been filtered out. And you do lose a lot of the pigments in it because obviously you take all the chunky stuff out, and then I restart it every year. The key to this though is making sure, am I going to go everywhere, that you keep checking the lid, because it does eat through the lid because it's vinegar. Oh, it smells amazing. I really like the way it tastes, but my family say it tastes horrible. So if you grew up drinking like lemon and honey, vinegar and stuff, you'll like it. Real medicine, not chemicals, 100%. And do you know what I always say? This stuff, I was a starch non-believer in anything herbal remedy. I used to be the person that is, if you said herbal remedy, I'd roll my eyes and be like, what's she on about? And I started with making a few things, just like trying to save money basically, and I am a staunch believer now. I've never been so shocked in my life how well this works, and this is one that really does work incredibly well, and I like the flavor of it. When I was a teacher for years, and I, as you can see, had a throat operation, so my voice is a little bit funny sometimes. I get a lot of sore throats, and drinking this with a little bit lemon and honey, it's perfect. Really helps me with like crackly voice syndrome sort of thing. The next thing is quite delicious, and that is this herb here. Does anyone know what that is? No one ever knows this one. It's a bit of an unusual one, but it's called marshmallow. Like, marshmallows, we had marshmallows and fire, toasty. This is what it used to be made out of. Hello, everyone coming in. Marshmallow is an amazing herb, and it's a huge tall plant with beautiful flowers on it. And every year you get some of these roots. You have to pull up the plant to get the roots, and then you can kind of bury the crown again and it grows again. This produces like a thick sort of gelatinous liquid, and you make marshmallows from it, and it's so good for sore throats and cold. Yes, marshmallow root, good points to go to you. So that is a really good herb to use, and kids absolutely love it. It does have like an almost grassy flavor to it, so you can tell why they've taken out marshmallow out. But what I do is I make a whole pan of marshmallows, old fashioned, like actually good for you marshmallows, and then I melt them into hot chocolate. And my daughter, my son will drink that until the cows come home. And it's so good for you. It's so good for any colds, flus, anything like that. So I always keep this on hand, and it's so easy to make. You just take a few like sprigs of this, put it in some water overnight, and then you make marshmallows with it with gelatin. Amazing. I don't have a vegan recipe because I use gelatin. So this so they're my really big go-to and actually work remedies for colds and flu, which are honestly I never skip now. I'll make them every single year and have them on hand. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is the thing that actually got me into herbal remedies, and that's what I was saying. I've just made this today, and this is nappy cream. It's just about, yeah, there you go. It's just set now. I kind of put my finger in it before it had set, but it's a salve, and this salve is amazing. It's for nappies. Well, I use it for nappy cream anyway, and all it is some calendula flowers in oil, which I do myself. I've done on another live, etc. And you literally just put it in with olive oil, like 50% flowers, 50% olive oil. Many roots are good. Yes, licorice is amazing as well and good for gut bacteria. I love licorice as like a sweetener for herbal teas because it tastes so good. And I think it tastes like a sweetener. Am I the only one? So I use it as a sweetener in any sort of tea. And I like to put stinging nettle in my tea as well because it's meant to be really like super healthy for you. I've eaten stinging nettles and they're really nice. They taste like spinach. So I try to put them in my diet, particularly in the winter where I eat very seasonally. So I do not have that very many like leafy greens and stuff as I do in the summer. So I find having that dried is a really great way of making sure that I have enough nutrients and stuff. But this is the first thing I actually made. And the reason I made it is because my son has very delicate skin and he can't have normal nappy cream. It literally gives him blisters. So I ended up getting some organic, like a little tiny tube of organic calendula. It was the only thing he wasn't allergic to. £10 for a tiny cube. So I said to my husband, I said, oh, let's make it. Like, it can't be that hard. And I end up making this, which is beeswax. You can see the colour. Look, it is gorgeous. Calendulas that we grow ourselves, and olive oil, which obviously we buy in because I don't know. Imagine growing that many olives in the UK. It'd be amazing. But that's all it is. And I made this today and it is amazing. I've actually just made some for my sister-in-law as well because her son has very sensitive skin as well. So this is very, very exciting. Hello everyone coming in. Smashed roots in tea is yummy. Yes, licorice is amazing. That's a very good point. Beeswax I actually buy in bulk from somewhere called, like, I think it's called Soapy, something like that, which is a soap company. I've bought like a whole bag of yellow beeswax. I bought it years ago and I'm still working my way through that. But if you know a beekeeper, that'd be the ultimate place to get it. I do really desperately want bees, probably as much as my husband desperately doesn't want me to get bees. So we've agreed if we move, which I've been telling people I'm moving for about 5 years, I don't hold your breath, but when we move I will be getting bees, and then I'll have beeswax from that, which will obviously be a lot better than buying commercial beeswax, but I just buy it from there. Talking about that, the same place I buy my beeswax from, I buy lye from. Lye is what you make soap with, and I make lots of different types of soap. I don't make fancy soap. I know some people have beautiful soaps, but this is my shampoo that I've made, which it was my first attempt. As you can see, it's all lumpy bumpy because I kind of did it wrong a little bit. And then this is I made this week. This is soap, which has a loofah in it. You could just about see because I'm still not amazing at hiding like things in soap. And they're both made out of lard, which is obviously from a pig. So they're lard. This one's made out of milk. This one's just made out of water, lye, and oils. I think it was olive oil, coconut oil. Love coconut oil. Very good for the skin. And some, I want to say, it's not cardamom oil, it's something else. It'll come to me. And obviously this is a Oh, what are them little white flowers? You know, the ones you can drink in tea? Can't remember off the top of my head. They look like daisies. Oh, you know, it happens to me all the time when I'm online. If you remember the name of it, put it down. I'll show you. They're those ones, little flowers. There, you can see one there. Anyway, it's got those in there that I've steeped in oil, and this one is frankincense. God, thank you so much. Yes. Calamine. Yeah, it goes out my head when I'm talking to you guys. Yes, calamine. So that's got calamine in it, which is meant to be very, very, very good for your hair. So calamine actually encourages your hair to grow. So I made it out of calamine. If I made this again, which I won't do for the next couple of years because I've got like a lifetime supply, I would put some rosemary in there as well. Oh, that this week I'm doing soap making. So if you wanted a soap making class, I've literally just filmed it, and it's everything to do with soap making from beginning to the end, but it's lard and milk, this one. I have done that one on the channel before. I don't remember what video it was. Oh yeah, it was my video, which is about something like, it's my first shopping video. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I'll post it in my post bit. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the video next week is this one. I'm making this and this next video. Ooh. So I'm doing all cosmetics and stuff like that, so it'll be great. But this one, it was amazing, and I'm really proud of it. Doesn't it look beautiful? And I made it with milk because milk helps it lather up. Homemade soaps, particularly from fat, don't lather up too much. Good. And it's really soft on the skin. My daughter, bless her, has started to get acne and things like that. So because it's got frankincense in it, which obviously I did not grow, I bought in, and yeah, it smells amazing, and it's just such a beautiful colour. And there's like a trick to it, so you don't burn the milk, and you've got to freeze it beforehand, and it just becomes this beautiful creamy colour. And you can see where obviously here I kind of charred it a little bit, so it isn't the best, but that was my first ever attempt. And what I did wrong, it's very funny. So I was like, oh, it's only 2 degrees, I can't be bothered to wait. What difference does 2 degrees make? Well, it went up like a volcano, and it went everywhere over my kitchen. Have you ever tried cleaning soap up from your kitchen? Oh mate, it was all over my extractor fan, all over my cupboards, all over the floor, and it's boiling hot. It was just such a terrible idea. So that was that one. That's why it looks a little bit weird, but this one was perfect. And yeah, as long as you just make sure your temperatures are fine, there's no, like, it didn't hurt me or anything. It was just everywhere. It was a pain to clean up. But I was actually sent some loofah, and that's what I put in it because I love like being able to scrub properly when I'm doing my hands, because any gardener knows, my dog, any gardeners knows we get minging hands, right? So it was important, but it's so beautiful, I have to say. Almost good enough to eat. Another thing that I like is coconut oil. Coconut oil is amazing as well. And what I use coconut oil is, it's like a little spoonful of coconut oil in your mouth, and you just swirl it around, and it whitens your teeth. And I was really like skeptical of this because lots of people say it doesn't work. It does. It works amazingly. Like, so much so that I had people commenting, being like, what's happened to you? Have you gone and got your teeth whitened? I'm like, no, coconut oil. And what I do, genius, because you know I'm struggling to lose my baby weight, like we all know, Nick, I get like bigger than smaller than bigger than smaller. It's not going well. But one of the things I do is put the coconut oil in my mouth whilst I'm cooking, so I'm not snacking whilst I cook, because I'm terrible at that. I love my cooking, so it's never good. But yes, let's move on to another hair thing, and this is something we talked about last time, and this is my rosemary conditioner, shall you say, and you pour it onto your hair once you finish washing your hair. So I wash my hair, this is the soap that I wash my hair with. It's actually shampoo, but as you can see, I didn't think that through, did I? I was like, it'll look nice with the flowers in, and it goes everywhere. So I won't be doing that again. Notice that this one doesn't have any of that in it, but yeah, I thought it looked pretty at the time. But once I've finished, I pour this on my hair, which is beautifully red. It obviously doesn't dye my hair. I'm blonde, so this is my natural hair color. this is what it looks like, but you can see all the new growth, which makes my hair look terrible. But you can see all my baby hair is growing through. I have terrible hair. My hair all fell out multiple times in my life. Once when I had overactive thyroid, my hair all fell out and snapped and went terribly. I obviously have now got no thyroid, and I had a baby. So if you've had a baby, you know, all your hair drops out. So it's all growing back and looking awful. I do know, you don't have to tell me, but this is the reason it's growing back, and it is amazing, and you can make it for free. Okay, so I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm selling you, just do it yourself. But this is absolutely amazing because you can just pour it on your hair. I keep it in the fridge, pour it on my hair when I finish washing my hair, which is honestly awful. I'm not going to lie to you. It's cold, right? And it's just awful and like, ugh. And then I wrap my hair up in a towel and let it dry. But this makes it so much more curly as well. And I don't know any of the science behind that, but it honestly is really good. Yeah, mine's falling out. This is actually for my sister. So I'm actually giving my sister this when I see her. That is my sister, by the way, if you're wondering why. She's she's talking to me so friendlily. Yeah, exactly. I'm not selling. I'm just telling you that there is stuff out there, and this is all. I actually researched this last night because obviously I'm doing a video about it, and there is quite a lot of science behind it that says it actually works, which is mad. And there's a lot of science behind things like that we use every single week to wash our hair that's actually damaging our hair, and it boggles my mind that we've gone from using these products, because these are recipes that you can, like, they're 100 years old. They're not something that I've made up. They're hundreds of years old, and we went to using chemicals which are less good for us, and this is just stuff that you can get for free. It's amazing, and it's so easy to make. It's just, I boil water, I put some rosemary in it, and then I steeped it overnight, and it's such a beautiful color. It's dark red. It looks like wine. It's so nice, and it smells amazing. You do smell like rosemary though when you're finished having your bath. I don't mind that. It goes after a few hours, but there is that. Right, what else have I got here? This one is another one for my sister. This is, I think it's a must grow herb in your garden, particularly if you're like me and you're clumsy. Once, a few a few years ago, I ended up, you know, like on Simpsons where, what's it, Sideshow Bob treads on the rake and it hits him in the face. I did that, and I hit myself in the face, blood everywhere, right? And I was there alone. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I went, oh no, what a terrible thing to do. Anyway, this herb stops bleeding. It's called yarrow. So if you ever have an accident, all you have to do is put this in the cut and it stops bleeding, which is a godsend, because I've cut through my thumb on the allotment. I've like had injuries to my legs. I've hit myself in the face. So it's something that we might actually need regardless on the allotment. And I grew it this year. This is the first time I grew it. It doesn't look like I've grown a lot, but remember, it shrinks down, and you just make it into a powder, whatever, use it as a tincture, and it stops bleeding, apparently very effectively. So I haven't used it yet because I haven't injured myself yet, but I've seen people on YouTube use it, people that I trust on YouTube that I've been watching for years, and it works beautifully. So I'm excited about that, but also don't want to use it, if that makes sense. Yes, we need to go back to the basics, guys. We really do. We really need to go back to like what our grandparents were doing, and like kind of work out what's good for us as well. I know, like, there's always a compromise with time, right? We've only got so much time. But I listened to this thing the other day. I like to listen to like motivational kind of speeches when I'm going to sleep. And they say you all get the same 24 hours a day, right? So you have 8 hours to work, 8 hours to sleep, and another 8 hours. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I do. And a lot of that we're so tempted to spend on our phones or whatever. Don't turn off. How do you turn that into a powder? I just grind it. I've got a coffee grinder, like an electric one, and I just put anything into my electric coffee grinder and grind it up. That's how I do all my powders. So I even take rosemary. I powder rosemary as well because I don't like the little sticks, and I put that in all my cooking. In India, the medicine man says to answer is grow around him. Yes, I completely agree with that. He's only collects plants within 1 mile. That's amazing. Yeah, that's the level I want to get to, you know. But I have to say, smelling this makes me, this is from the Middle East, and oh, it smells so good. So I agree with you, but I'm also quite sold on that too. Right, so my next one, this is something that's really great for if you have problems sleeping, and it's lavender. I love lavender. I used to have a lot more plants than lavender, but we had to redo our fence. Do you remember there was that massive, like really bad winds like a few years ago, and all my fences got blown down, and my husband came along and fixed it by himself because he's an amazing human being, but he also like killed all my lavender plants doing it. So he's a terrible person. So I've got one left, and what I do is I steep it in olive oil, and then I'll take this and I'll put maybe like a few drops until you kind of feel the texture change, so it's more clumpy together, into some Epsom salt, and I'll put that in the kids' bath, and it helps them sleep, which is so important for me. There's nothing worse than babies that won't sleep, right? It is so difficult, man. My son did not sleep the other night until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then woke up at 3, and I was near on crying. So this is something that really helps with that, particularly at bath time. But even like a couple of drops of oil, rubbed on them. What I will say is if they're below the age of 2, don't use any essential oils because it is too strong for them. And also if you've got a little boy, and just be careful how much lavender you're putting on him, because it does interfere with their hormones and stuff, which we want to help, we don't want to hinder. The other thing that I have here, which is a medicine as well, and this is something that I feel everyone should have, and it's a weed. So it's not like it's something that you have to go out and grow. This is something you are growing and probably getting annoyed at, and that's plantain. This is my plantain. I kind of like crumbled it up in there, but it is just olive oil and plantain. And what I did is I found plantain from somewhere. It's actually on my allotment, because you don't want anywhere that like a dog's weeing on it, over the park or etc. So I got the plantain, and how I check that nothing's weed on it is I give it to my dog, and if the dog is like, oh wow, this is amazing, and sniffs it loads, then obviously it's got wee on it. But if he's like, why do I want that, then it's absolutely fine to use as like a foraged herb. That's what I tell myself anyway, so I might be wrong. But this is amazing for any sort of bites or swellings or anything like that. I get bitten by deer fly every year, and I'm mad allergic to deer fly. They swell. My hand looked like it was this big, and I was teaching at the time, and I couldn't take the time off because it's coming up to GCSEs, and my hand was like this. I couldn't even move my fingers, so I was like teaching with like a balloon hand, and I got one on my leg, and my leg swelled up. It was awful, but nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. I actually got, because we had nurses in school, they were actually going to send me to the hospital to get EpiPen. And I was like, no, I literally chewed some of this up and spat it on my hand. I'm a grub, right? And it deflated it like a balloon. It was amazing. And at that moment in time, I genuinely thought to myself, like, wow, like how can you have something this potent and this amazing and just not know about it? And it is like you said, it grows within, minutes of you. You've probably walked past this plant every single day of your life. Let me see. Lol. Bailey, that's my dog Bailey. It probably can smell the wee and doesn't react, so he watches you use it. Yeah, he probably does. He's probably like, oh, that stank. Oh, she's eating it. Oh, that's grim. But yeah, no, he's a good boy. So that is one of the herbs that I'll always have on hand, and that's why I decided to make it into an oil, because I'm going to strain it once it's been in there for like a year. It's really 8 weeks is like the happy spot, but I like to leave it a little bit longer. And then I'll make it into something. I'm not too sure what I will, or I'll keep it as an oil and just leave it in my car. So if I get bitten by anything, I can just put it on straight away, because it's not nice. I'm very worried about being bitten on the face, so that will swell, because it swells up so significantly, and I do worry that it's going to be a bad time. Sorry. The last thing that I have to talk about, which I think is very exciting. Oh, I hate them. Yeah, the deer fly. The deer fly are horrible. So deer fly bite you and they cut you. They don't inject like a mosquito. And they cut you and then they lap up the blood, right? But the whole time they're kind of using their spit to stop it from scabbing, right? And I hate them. So they say, apparently, if you wear light clothing, you don't get bitten by them. I wear light clothing and it gets absolutely dirty and I get bitten. So I just wear, I'm always wearing a hoodie. So I just wear this and I get bitten terribly by them over the allotment. So this is the next thing that I want to talk about, and this I've been using for a while. You can see it's quite grim inside. You see that I use it. And this is toothpaste, homemade toothpaste, and I was told no, it doesn't work, blah blah blah. It does. It's amazing stuff. It's really abrasive, but in a good way. It's made out of clay, baking soda, cloves are really good, like antibiotic, but really mild, so it's good for your teeth. And my favorite thing again, coconut oil. And I was like dead set against coconut oil. I was like, who uses coconut oil? I buy tons of it now. It's amazing stuff. As you can see, this is an empty jar of it, but that's all it is. And the clove keeps it from going like moldy or whatever, and so does the coconut oil is a natural, like it kills bacteria, so it doesn't go off, and it's so good. The only thing I'll say about it is once you brush your teeth with them, crunchy a little bit, but what it does is it remineralizes your teeth. It doesn't clean your teeth, it remineralizes them. So if you have like a little bit of like a cavity, or you're like me, love sweet treats, this actually builds up enamel. It doesn't break down enamel, it builds up enamel, so that your teeth are like becoming stronger again, which is just amazing because you're told not that it's impossible. Yeah, cloves are amazing for teeth. Yeah, like the herb clove, not like cloves. They're amazing for teeth, and they really do have an impact on how much bacteria is in your mouth. Remember, there is some bacteria we want. We don't want to have like no bacteria in our life because it's not good for us. We have more bacteria in our bodies than we do cells, because your microbiome. So we don't want to put anything in our body that really harms that. This is how we break down our food. But we do want to eradicate all the bad bacteria in our mouth that breaks down our teeth and breaks down our enamel. But this grows it back. And I just think it's amazing because I was speaking to my dentist. I have terrible teeth because I have hypercalcia, which is a lack of calcium, which sounds like really mild, but it's like blood calcium. It's like a whole thing. And it means I have terrible bones, painful joints, etc. So these are the things that I use to make sure that, I'm like up to scratch with it. And this has made such a good impact that I've stopped having teeth removed, which is a big thing with my condition. Yes, fluoride actually eats tooth enamel. Yeah, and there's such, like, if you look into it, fluoride really does mess up your brain as well, which is really scary, and a doctor will say, yes, put fluoride, have fluoride toothpaste, but they won't ever say, there's an actual, if you put clay, a certain type of edible clay on your teeth, it actually remineralizes it because it's made out of the same stuff as enamel, which is incredible. It's an amazing thing, and I feel like people should know more about it. Particularly, I feel in the UK we have less of a movement to like move away from all of these like industrial things to move back to like things that we've been doing for generations. And I think it's so important for us to just question what we take for granted. Like, why should we be putting these chemicals on our body? Why should I wash my hair with chemicals when my hair's getting worse, when my hair's falling out? I had terrible problems with my hair just falling out like crazy, and I don't know if you guys do this, I'd brush my hair and like it would be like clumped on the brush, or I'd wash my hair and the drain would literally, I'd have to like properly clean out the drain because my hair was falling out so much. And when I swapped to like this sort of stuff, yes, it does take a little while. It takes about between 2 and 8 weeks sort of thing, because Herbal, like, it moves a little bit slower than your chemicals. This stuff, I'm telling you, it works so well, and you can make it all for free or pennies. I mean, lard is probably the cheapest thing. I went and bought some the other day and it was like 25p a pack of lard. I bought enough for like a kilo, and I've got enough soap now. No, I bought 2.5 kilos, sorry, and I've got enough now for the foreseeable future. Same as this lasts forever. As long as you properly cure it, it lasts forever. Yeah, and they're putting fluoride in. They've already put fluoride and chloride in our tap water, so we're drinking that too. It's why I've got a filter. Can you please send the ingredients, please, where you get them at some point? Yes. So all of this that I've talked about, pretty much all of it, is all going to be in that video that I'm telling you that's going to be out this week. Oh, no eye contact. I'm going to try to get it edited. It's so hard to edit when you've got little ones, I'm telling you. But all of that is going to be in there. So if you do want to watch it, you're very much welcome. It's always going to be free. But yeah, it is something that I'm really passionate about, as you can see. And I think that we do need to move down to basics. And I'm telling you, this took less time to make than it would to boiling pasta. That's how long it takes. It takes no time at all. I think soap's like a more of like an elite level. It made me a little bit worried about it, just because of the lye. I have a terrified. I used to work in a lab, and I'm terrified of lye because I dropped it everywhere once, and it was just a whole entire cleanup, and it's horrible to clean. But this as well takes minutes. So if you were going to start with something like this, like your fire cider. And I've put this, I think every year I put the recipe up on my channel for this, because I really do believe it's amazing stuff. So it's kind of like the benchmarks. You can come in, take this, and it's so easy. You can either drink it straight, which I'm not going to lie to you, it is a bit of a, but what you can do is put it in tea with some water, and it's gorgeous. I love it. So it's up to you. Have you guys got any questions for me? I kind of go on, don't I? Natter. Sorry. Let me know. Do you have any questions for me about anything that I've said? If not, then I do have some beautiful explanations coming up on my video this week. I showed my GP, love it. They are public access, and they looked up his wages. Oh my goodness. Polio jabs and flu jabs, etc. That's ridiculous. I didn't know that. I did not know that. That is madness. You can see why they push it, can't you? Yes, off topic from tonight. That's fine. Bone broth. But I don't can bone broth because I use so much of it. So I make it weekly and I use it up within that week. So you can it. You can it, but I don't actually can it. You pressure can it, or you can put it in the freezer. It freezes really well, even in glass jars. If you're going to freeze it in glass jars, leave it just enough to expand. I leave the lid off a little bit as well, and it works perfectly. But you can it. Don't quote me, but I think it's 20 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure where I am, or it might be 25 minutes. I cannot remember, but I don't can it because I just use so much of it. My last video, I think I made 3 jars of it. That was gone within a couple of weeks of each other because we use so much of it. But that was a great question because it's kind of on point. It's so good for you. Yes, I don't care about patients. Yes, with bank accounts, I completely agree with you. 100%, you know. Thank you for that's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone so much. But you know it's the end of my life because it is bedtime, right? Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow because I've got a live tomorrow at 7. I'll see you later, guys. Bye. If you've got anything you want me to go through, drop it on my posts, right? I think it's my community tab, and I'll go through whatever you guys think is a good topic to do a live on making them. Yes, but I can't keep my babies out of the house right now, and they're too loud to do a live this time of year, so I'm in the garage. Right, remember to subscribe. Bye, love ya. Bye.